Hey there, welcome to BlinkLearn 5. Today we're diving into a topic that affects us all but might seem a bit complex at first: inflation. Don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what inflation is and how it impacts your everyday life. So, what exactly is inflation? In simple terms, inflation is the general increase in prices of goods and services over time. Imagine your favorite chocolate bar costing $1 today, but a few years down the line, it costs $1.50. That increase in price is what we call inflation. Now that we've got a grip on inflation, let's switch gears and delve into another intriguing concept: shrinkflation. Inflation, as we discussed earlier, is the general increase in prices over time. But hold on tight, because shrinkflation adds a sneaky twist to the mix. Ever felt like you're dishing out the same amount or maybe even more for a product, but it seems like you're getting less in return? Imagine your go-to cereal box on the store shelf. It looks unchanged, but when you crack it open, surprise, there's noticeably less cereal inside. Welcome to the world of shrinkflation, where the price tag stays steady, but what you're actually getting takes a subtle dip. Now, let's talk about why inflation happens. One major factor is the increase in the supply of money in an economy. When there's more money circulating, people have more to spend, and businesses might raise their prices to meet the higher demand. Additionally, external factors like increased production costs, rising energy prices, or supply chain disruptions can also contribute to inflation. Inflation comes in different forms, and it's important to know about them. There's demand-pull inflation, which occurs when consumer demand exceeds the available supply of goods and services. Cost-push inflation happens when production costs rise, forcing businesses to increase prices. Understanding these types helps us see the different reasons prices may go up. So, how does inflation impact us? Well, one major effect is the decrease in the purchasing power of money. As prices rise, the same amount of money can buy fewer goods and services. It's like a silent force slowly eroding the value of your money over time. Now that we've touched on how inflation affects us, let's explore how governments and central banks step into the ring to manage this economic beast. It's not just a game of chance, it's a strategic dance that involves a set of powerful tools. Governments and central banks act as the economic maestros, using monetary policy to conduct this symphony. One key tool in their arsenal is controlling the money supply. By tweaking the amount of money circulating in the economy, they can influence spending and borrowing, aiming to keep inflation in check. Interest rates are another crucial instrument in this economic orchestra. When central banks adjust interest rates, they impact the cost of borrowing and, consequently, the overall spending in the economy. It's a fine-tuning mechanism to either encourage or discourage spending, depending on the inflationary pressures. Imagine a scenario where inflation is soaring. To cool things down, a central bank might decide to increase interest rates. This makes borrowing more expensive, putting a damper on excessive spending and contributing to a slowdown in inflation. On the flip side, if inflation is too low, they might lower interest rates to stimulate economic activity. Now, this balancing act comes with its challenges. Set the interest rates too high, and you risk stifling economic growth. Set them too low, and inflation could spiral out of control. It's like walking a tightrope, requiring a keen understanding of economic indicators and a swift response to changing conditions. It's also important to note that inflation management isn't just a local affair. In our interconnected world, central banks often collaborate to address global economic challenges. Coordinated efforts can help stabilize not only individual economies, but the international financial landscape as well. So, there you have it, a glimpse into how governments and central banks take center stage in managing inflation. It's a complex choreography of monetary policy, interest rates, and economic foresight. In conclusion, remember that inflation is a natural ebb and flow in our economic journey. Although we can't completely sidestep it, delving into the reasons behind its rise and fall equips us with the knowledge to navigate our financial paths wisely. If you enjoyed this exploration into the world of inflation, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And if you haven't already, Hit that subscribe button for more insightful breakdowns on complex topics. Drop your suggestions for future topics in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me today, and until our next exploration, keep those questions coming and stay curious.